Welcome to the World United. Welcome to the World United.
Angela is an author, speaker, movement specialist, and online marketing coach. And Angela is passionate about sharing the fascinating world of the brain and how we can use neuromuscular science-based movement to build resilience, lower stress, and increase health, happiness, and creativity. It helps movement professionals, women, and go-getter entrepreneurs to balance business success with their personal health and happiness. As an online business coach, she helps movement and wellness coaches build online systems, make sales, and grow epic brands without burnout. Angela believes in today's uncertain and evolving world, the importance of self-aware has never been more important. And her topic is pro-move activity. Welcome, Angela.
Should I unmute first? Thank you. I wanted to first acknowledge the traditional owners. I know there have been already. I have a deep connection because I have spent a lot of time in Aboriginal communities in very remote parts of Australia where a lot of people don't get to go. So I acknowledge their presence. And you know, I want to emulate what everyone said here today. You know, we are at a time, what a great time to be alive, to be part of this world shifting and to be leaders in the forefront of this change that's occurring. So I'm just wondering why I'm still small here. Sorry, you're on mute. And so before we begin, you know, I truly believe that it is about human connection. It starts with you. It starts with yourself. It starts with being present within you. And being present within you, finding greater peace and calm means that we can be connected to those around us. So I want to encourage everyone to reach out to someone and give them a virtual high five by either shouting them out, celebrating each other, you know, go onto your social medias and celebrate the people that you see making a big change in the world. Because when we do that and acknowledge, it's, you know, it's something quite small, but it really is precious to that person. Hang on a second. And so can I share my screen? Is that still possible?
You can.
Okay,
Let
great.
me go ahead and put multiple participants. There you go. Now you should be able to.
Okay, great.
There you go.
So ready, high five your squad. Are you finding it difficult to make decisions? Have you been procrastinating, taking it longer to do tasks? We've all been disrupted by what's been going on in the world drastically over the past few years, or couple of years. And this change is created via neuroplasticity in our brain. So the reason that we're held back is because our brain does what it's designed to do, keep us safe. You know, it's very smart. It's like, oh, that's too tricky. I'm not going to do that. So we get stressed, we get anxious, and all of us here have experienced something like that. And that's everyone that's shared. And all the studies have found that, you know, 1 in 4 people are finding it difficult to concentrate, finding it longer to do a task, finding it difficult to think. And a new word that I've recently discovered is languishing. You know, it's this feeling of restlessness, of feeling unsettled. You know, it's a part of what we've been going through. You know, the things that typically bring us joy are not bringing us joy. It's not necessarily good or bad. We're just not as present as we used to be. And so thankful for this embodiment summit that's helping us change that and be leaders. So I talk about movement being the greater key to focus and productivity, the other side of languishing and feeling disconnected, to help you feel more balanced, grounded, focused, and calm. I believe it starts with dropping into our body, being present within ourselves, doing that deep work. And the way we navigate this change is something that brought us here in the first place, neuroplasticity. It enables people to recover from setbacks, from adversity, to become resilient human beings. Tapping into the brain's capacity to change will have longer lasting effects on your stress levels and ultimately your productivity. So this is at the cutting edge of science. It's backed by science. And Michelle would back me up on that as a somatic practitioner herself. So it's about connected with ourselves, our self-awareness. So I'll just stop the share for a moment. So there was a time where I came to the Feldenkrais method, what I'm sharing with you today, somatic movement, as a dancer to improve my performance. But not too long ago, I found myself pregnant without a partner. And then I got a phone call to say, no, you can't return to work. The dance position that I'd been my whole life as a dancer, as a teacher, as a movement professional. And you can imagine, like, my career was, my partner gone. What was I to do? So I had this practice, Feldenkrais. And as Delphine shared, the breath work, coming back to that brought me back into myself, into Feldenkrais, and helped me navigate through that challenging time by connecting to and having more self-respect for me and the challenges that I faced. I was able to launch my business. That's when I started my movement business online and sharing what I do with Feldenkrais with the world, and why I'm here today. And so how I navigated through that is what I want to share with you today. So let's all, for a moment, just become aware of how you're connected to the ground. Don't change anything. If you're sitting, feel your sit bones. Feel the connection you have to the chair. Feel your feet planted on the ground. Drop into your body. You can even close your eyes. I invite you to close your eyes and take out the visual stimulation. Check in with your breath. And just for a moment, feel the body you're in. Well, now when you open your eyes, I invite you to, if you are sitting, move a little bit forward on your chair so that your legs are, in fact, I will, no, I won't, my chair's over there. I'm standing at the moment, so I've got my sit-stand desk here. I invite you to move your legs, pelvis forward, sit bones forward so your legs are free. Make sure your knees are coming out from your pelvis, your knees are over your feet. And you can feel already that your spine is taller and more free. Your chest is open. Yes, you feel a tallness in your spine. It's hard. And then just gently roll the pelvis. So you roll backwards and curve the spine. And then gently roll the pelvis forward, and feel as you roll the pelvis forward, you come through your lower back, through your chest and ribs, and then open your chest to the ceiling. And then roll the pelvis back and curve the spine. And roll the pelvis forward. So just this simple act of checking in with your body, simple rolling of the pelvis can release the spine and bring us back into ourselves. So I would like to invite you to actually grab a Post-it note, because we all are sitting too much. Grab a Post-it note, write on there, check in with self, and post it on your computer. Little takeaway for today. I'll share my screen again. So it's about self-awareness and becoming aware. See, through movement, there's 4 components of every action: thinking, emotion, sensation, and movement. A change in one component will have an impact on the other. And see, we're not generally aware of this interrelationship between them. And the most direct way to strengthen the relationship of all of these components, especially thinking and emotion, is through the development of the awareness of our movement, because it's the majority of our nervous system is concerned with movement. So when we check in with our nervous system, it connects to our brain, It lowers our stress levels, as Michelle mentioned, lowers that fight, flight, freeze response. I truly believe that we're so caught up in our heads, and that's great to do the meditational practice, the breathing practice, but bringing it into our body and making it an embodiment practice will have longer lasting effects on those changes that you want to make. So by simply becoming aware of your sitting, like we just did, walking, and how we sense that. And so it's this slow movement that equals the self-awareness. So today I want to share with you my 3B framework. And first up, we've all been talking about breath. So if you were here for Delphine's practice, I've got a similar one. It's actually called rhythmic breathing in the Feldenkrais method. And what we do is we've noticed the 4 parts of your breath. The breath in, as we did with Delphine practice, the hold, the breath out, and the hold. And you take 4 counts for each. I've recently discovered that it's actually called box breathing, and it's what the Navy SEALs do to lower their stress. So I invite you now to breathe with me again. Take a breath in, count for 4. And what I'd like to do is actually tap my finger to 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4, breath out for 4, hold for 4. And as you're breathing in, notice that this whole rib cage, as it is, it's a cage, it's a front, a back, 2 sides, a top and a bottom, and feel that each part of that box is expanding as you breathe those 4 counts. Hold and breathe out, and it contracts. So dropping into the body, into your chest cavity, into our life force. See, breathing can actually change our state. It's one of the only things that can change our physiology that we have control over. So again, grab yourself a Post-it note. I've got one here actually, breath. Remember to breathe. Pop that on your computer. And so the second B is balance. So now that we've calmed our system, let's look at balance throughout our body. And as we did with our sitting exercise just before, and balancing on our sit bones, you can do the same in standing. Because what's happened over the course of our life, our muscles have taken over the job of the skeleton, which means the muscles get tight, and that causes our skeleton to move out of alignment. That's the cause of most of our pain, discomfort, inflammation. I've got a sore knee. Just imagine if you did break your ankle, right? And then because the body's smart, it wants to keep us safe, it wants to stop us feeling pain, we shift our weight to the other leg, we hobble around, and that movement changes how we move. It changes our habits. And so those habits get ingrained in the body, and even after the ankle has been healed, we're still doing that habit of movement. And so, as I said, the skeleton is no longer in balance, it's shifted. Yeah. So the muscles get overworked. The skeleton can't do its job of transferring the force through our body, which our overworked muscles then, cause us all that pain. So the third one is break it down. So let's just try this. Everyone, try turning your eyes one way and your head the other. Is that weird? Yes. Because our eyes follow where our head follows, and we're not used to looking the other way like that. So it's about differentiation, yeah? And so that's a novel movement for our brain. And that's how the Feldenkrais method and somatic movement can help you then move better. If I had longer, I'd probably do another longer movement exercise, but that's just a simple explanation of how doing novel movements allows our brain loves to learn that way. So that's how we can retrain, going back to the funky word, neuroplasticity, to move better and overcome the stresses and enhance our life. Okay, so if you want to hear more about my story, I recently became a best-selling author in a co-authored book called Phoenix Rising. It's my story where I go a lot more in depth into the story I shared with you, my challenging time with raising 2 young boys. I call them my little man army, although my older little man is now taller than me. So I think he's going to graduate to being my bouncer now, bodyguard. I also have a free community where you can come and try this movement method out for yourself called Movement Online Academy. So take a screenshot, write that down, find me on social media. You can come in there and try out the amazing lessons that I share. We're also about to run our own festival called Online Movement Festival. I've been putting the finishing touches on that. So I've actually been, as my introduction said, I've actually been teaching a lot of my colleagues, Feldenkrais colleagues, on how to bring their practice online, and they're going to be presenting at the festival. So it's going to be awesome. That's one of the courses in there. Perfect presentation posture. So when you are speaking again, you can learn how to stand with ease and confidence. And that is my website, Angie Mac. So you can find out more about both my Feldenkrais and my online marketing if anyone needs support with that. Anyone? And I have a YouTube channel, and there's some of the playlists that I've got: releasing lower back pain, improving your hips, shoulder and neck relief. So I wanted to thank you for having me. I think I've covered all my little notes that I've got here. And so lovely to be here with you all.
Thank you so much. Again, so many great tips, and I love the Post-it notes. I use them a lot.
A lot here.
Yeah, positive affirmations all over the mirror and things. Yes. So, and we do have a certificate for you that will be emailed of appreciation for your participation and your generosity. There's so much that is going on now with